Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 19 Equinox up to 22% off. That's up to $9,000 off. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need a new Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert. They're the perfect thing to make that old wood fireplace more beautiful, warmer, and easier to use. And right now, Heat and Glow is giving a $200 rebate, making it even easier for you to upgrade that old fireplace. Please come see them today. Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Good evening and welcome to Waukee High School. Dar Danielson with you here on CISN.TV. As we get ready for playoff football tonight, it's the Waukee Warriors hosting Cedar Rapids Prairie. And this is a rematch of a game earlier this year. It was week number 3, I believe, on the schedule, and Waukee handled Prairie fairly easily in that one. 43-7 was the final score, but that was, in week 3, 43-7 here at Waukee. They pretty well shut down Prairie's running attack and then weren't able to, didn't give them up much in the air either. And Waukee went on to an easy victory. But it all starts over here tonight with the 4A playoffs as Waukee comes in with the number 10 seed, Prairie the number 8 seed. Waukee hosting by virtue of winning in their district and winning the district title there, going 5-0 in the district. And, of course, Waukee ran off 5 straight wins to take that district, and then last week, of course, beating Johnston to, make that the final and win the district outright and get the home bid here tonight. They are hosting Cedar Rapids Prairie. On the other side of the bracket, top-seeded Valley is hosting number 16 Indianola in the other matchup in what they call Bracket A. And Bracket C, the other bracket here on the side where Waukee is in Prairie, it's number 4 Ankeny Centennial hosting number 12 Urbandale, and number 5 Cedar Rapids Kennedy is hosting number 11 Fort Dodge at Kingston Stadium in Cedar Rapids. On the other side of that bracket, it's number 2 Cedar Falls hosting number 15 Dubuque Senior. Number 7 Bettendorf is at number 13 Linmar. Those are the seeds. Number 3 Dowling Catholic, the 6-time defending champions, are hosting Des Moines Roosevelt at Williams Stadium in Des Moines. And Southeast Polk is hosting Ankeny at Southeast Polk. So that's the rundown here on the Class 4A field. And I mentioned it, Dowling, the team that's won 6 straight here. So it's up to the other teams to see who can come up and knock them off. And, of course, Valley beat them earlier. They are 9-0 and hosting Indianola. Waukee, one of those teams that figured that they might be in that mix early on. They did lose a close ball game to Dowling in the early going of the season, and also had a close loss to, they lost 21-17 to Valley, or to Dowling rather, and then they lost to Southeast Polk by a field goal. Beat Prairie, and then their only big loss was to Valley, a 38-10 loss at Valley. And they lost that, and then, as we said, they ran off 5 straight here to take the district title. For Cedar Rapids Prairie, they opened up with wins over Cedar Rapids Wash and Pleasant Valley before losing to Waukee. Then they lost to Cedar Rapids Kennedy, then won 4 in a row, and ended up losing to Cedar Falls last week, 56-42 at the Unidome. And that is cost them that the district title there, losing that one. So looks like Prairie has won the toss, and they will receive here tonight to start this ball game. A little bit of rain earlier. The rain has let up. A little windy out there, not too bad. Temperature is a little cooler than what you'd expect maybe at this time of year. We're, 40 right now, not too bad compared to what we have been in the past. But so conditions will be cloudy, 40 degrees, and a light breeze here tonight as we get ready to kick off this one. Of course, the big news for Waukee in that offense with the injury to their leading rusher, Alex Lindquist, and he is out now for the rest of the season. The junior, who had racked up 822 yards rushing and 7 TDs, had 13 receptions, 179 yards, and a TD. And Xavier Moore will fill in for him tonight. He just 271 yards and 2 TDs on the season. The one good thing for Waukee is they have the depth. And Waukee comes out tonight in the purple tops and their white bottoms, and Prairie in the white tops and black bottoms. In case you're wondering, we are audio only here tonight for this playoff matchup because of the IHSAA rules. And we'll bring you the ball game here tonight. Colton Forsland is back deep, and Tariq Amir back deep to receive on the kickoff here, as Cade Jaden will kick it off. As we're ready for playoff football here at Waukee. Warriors set to take on Cedar Rapids Prairie. Good crowd here on hand on the Waukee side, and several brave souls on the far side coming in from Cedar Rapids to watch. And here's the kick. It's a squibber. It's taken by the up man at the 29 and all the way up to the 40-yard line on the short kick. So he takes it from the 29 up to the 40 will be, well, they'll call the 39, I guess. 1st and 10 at the 39 for Prairie. Hunter Williams is the quarterback. They come out in a bunch formation around the center. They split out. He's got Tariq Amir with him in the back, or on the slot. Hands it off to Amir. He's looking for room over the left side. They'll be stacked up right there by a sea of purple shirts and be dropped for, well, they're going to call it no gain, right at the line of scrimmage. So, no gain on the run. And they'll come back out. Carter Lynn, Skylar Paulson, Jack Halverson, Will Thalaker, and Colton Staub, the lineman for Cedar Rapids, as they shift here now. Everybody shifts to the right side of that formation. Tariq Amir kind of in the slot, dropping back. They hand it off, cutting up the right side, got some room up the sideline, cuts it back in down to the 35, knocked out at the 33-yard line is Nick Pearson. So a little bit of misdirection, and we see one of the first big plays, something we didn't see in that first matchup here with Waukee, as they take it from the 39 into Waukee territory down to the 33. 28-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 33 of Waukee. Spins, throws it out over across the middle, and it's dropped there. And had it off the hands of the tight end there. And if he brings that in, they got a pretty good gain there. Gabriel Burkle. So brings up 2nd down and 10 at the 33. Their first pass of the night. They shift everybody around. They got Nick Pearson, single back there with Hunter Williams. He takes a direct snap right up the middle and plows ahead to the 30. He'll get a couple yards. As we're seeing a lot more movement and a lot more line surge out of Cedar Rapids than we saw in that first matchup. He'll pick up 3. Brings up 3rd and long, though. 3rd and 7 at the 30-yard line for Prairie. 10:46 to play. Clock moving here in the first quarter. They send Amir to the left side. Got to slot it over there. He comes back inside. Now rolling. Williams looks. Now he'll try to turn the corner, go for the marker, and gets knocked out of bounds on the far side. Aaron Smith came up and hit him out of bounds. Didn't let him get that corner, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 3 for Prairie at the 30. We'll see if they go for it here. They've only tried 3 field goals on the season, and it looks like they may go for it here. They got Pearson and Amir out there. Gabriel Burkle is the tight end on the right side. They put Amir a slot on the right side. Here's the snap, direct snap to Pearson. Pearson looking to the right side, cuts it in, 20, 15, 10, down inside to the 6-yard line. 1st and 10, 1st and goal now for Prairie off Pearson's run. And Pearson has gained 1,654 yards, 22 TDs here on the season. So 1st and 6 at the 6. 1st and goal at the 6 for Prairie. So they're driving early here, taking the opening kickoff from the 39. Here's Williams in the shotgun. Oh, they snap it directly to Pearson. He's in for the touchdown. Nick Pearson from 6 yards out. And Prairie scores here in the first quarter with 10:03 to play. Pearson, a 6-yard run. And we'll line up for, well, they line up like they were going to go for 2, but now they'll shift into the kicking formation here. Walter, he's 26 of 31 on the season, kicks that one up high enough and good. And that makes it 7-0. Prairie scores on the opening drive here with 10:03 to play in the first quarter. It's Prairie 7, Waukee 0 with the kickoff coming up after this. Here at Waukee, Prairie comes out and strikes first here. They go 61 yards and score on the Pearson run.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched
With 10:03 to play here in the
exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school
first
sports,
quarter. They'll
and
kick
the way
off
the big
now.
Game and hometown team rally a community. Best of
Back
luck
deep
to
to
all of
receive is
today's
Aaron
competitors.
Smith for
Play
Waukee.
hard,
Here's
have
the kick
fun,
right
and
down
do
the middle.
something
Smith
great
takes it at the 16, up to the 20,
Remember
25,
that
looking to cut outside, spins back around, it is pulled down. Oh, ball comes out, but I think they're going to say his forward momentum had stopped. Yep. The ball came out late, but they came in right away and said, nope, forward momentum had stopped. So the Warriors will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 27 on their first drive of the night. At the 27, Mitch Randall, the senior quarterback, brings him out. Xavier Moore in the backfield with him. Send the slot in motion across the formation. They hand it on. Oh, he throws it across to Sadat, and it's off his hands, incomplete. He had it and was hit immediately and then couldn't hang on. There is a big defensive play by Brody Jones. Brody Jones with the hit. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 27. Mitch Randall looks over. Got Xavier Moore with him in the shotgun. They send a man in motion, and Randall keeps it himself, cuts it up across the 30, 35. Ball's on the turf, but nope, they're going to say he's down again at the 35. Mitch Randall, they say he was down when the ball squirted out. And it'll be 3rd down and short for Waukee. About 3rd and 2 at the 35-yard line for the Warriors. Hayden Huntley comes into the ball game. And Randall comes up. Shotgun. Xavier Moore to his right side. Hands it off to Moore. No, keeps it up the middle. 40. 45. Breaks the tackle. Trying to cut outside. And he'll get pushed out at the 50-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10. Mitch Randall on 2 big runs here. Moves the Warriors up to midfield. Knows the ball right there on the 50. 1st and 10 for Waukee at the 50-yard line. So they're trying to answer the opening 61-yard drive by Prairie. Here's Mitch Randall. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. High snap, drops back, looks, throws it down the left side, and in. Did he get it? Oh, he got it. Sam Odell. Looked like he lost it on the turf, but Sam Odell went down and got that up at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 Warriors on the pass. So 26-yard pass. They're going to go quickly here. Randall takes the hand off to Moore, takes it himself over the left side. Randall cuts it inside, down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Mitch Randall chewing up the yardage in the ground on this drive. Put it in the belly of Xavier Moore, then pulled it right back out. And now it is 1st and 10 at the 13. So they can get a first down without scoring. Here's Randall. High snap, hands it off to Moore. This time right up the gut, and he goes in there till he gets stopped, but ball Well, comes out. Everybody dives on it. And Waukee would have recovered, but now again they're saying that he was down before the ball came out, so they'll mark him at the 8-yard line. A pickup of 5. Under 8 minutes to play now here in the first quarter. Waukee trailing 7-0, but driving on their first possession of the ball game. Rich Randall gives it to Moore. He cuts it in. No, touchdown. That was Aaron Smith on the 8-yard run. There's a flag down, though. And let's see what the call is here. Waukee players are walking back, so it looks like they'll pull that touchdown off the board, and they're going to call a holding. Waukee holding. So the first penalty of the night, and it's a big one for Waukee, as it'll put it back at the 20. It was at the 8 was a line of scrimmage, but they threw the flag, and the penalty moves it back to the 20. So here's Randall. Randall rolls right and hands it off. Coming back, Xavier Moore slips one tackle, and he'll get about a yard. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long for Waukee. 3rd and 17 at the 20 or 19-yard line. Make it their own 19. Randall comes up. 3 receivers, trips to the left, 1 to the right. Sends Smith in motion across the formation. Rolling right, looks, throws to Smith. Oh, just over his head. Hands. He tried to lean back and catch that. Got a hand on it, but couldn't pull it in. And that'll bring up a 4th down and bring on the field goal team, I believe, here. Yep, Cade Jaden's going to come out. As he rolled to the right, and the pass just a little high there as he leaned back and tried to get a hand on it. So they'll set the tee. Cade Jaden will at the 26-yard line. He's 4-7 field goals this season. A 44 is his longest. The wind right now has really died down, not much there. So 36-yard attempt. Here's the snap. The kick is up and good. 36 yards by Cade Jaden with 6:59 to play. Waukee is on the board here in the first quarter. And it's 7-3 the score. So now Prairie opens up. The opening drive goes 61 yards and gets the touchdown. Waukee takes it 47 yards and ends up with the field goal. So a 47-yard drive. Gets the field goal with 6:59 to play here in the first quarter. So right away we've seen the Cedar Rapids Prairie offensive attack be more successful than they were back in week 3 here against Waukee. Although we saw the Waukee Warriors drive right down. The big play was the penalty, as Xavier Moore had taken it in from 8 yards out, but a holding penalty was called, and that moved the ball back to the 20 as they threw the flag at the 10, moved it back 10 yards, and now Cade Jaden will kick off to Prairie here as they'll get their second possession of the game. His first kick was a squibber, a short one. We'll see if they do that again here. And this time he's going to kick it high and deep, taken at the 12. Up to the 20, 25, 30, has a seam, breaks through and then is hammered down at the 31-yard line. Tariq Amir with a good return there, and that'll start out Cedar Rapids in good field position. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 36. Leading 7-3 here in the early going of this one. They come out with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and a direct snap to the back. He's looking for room there, cuts it up the left side, and that is Adam Longwell. So the third back we've seen in the backfield there, Longwell, picks up 8. So a whole different attack we're seeing here this time around out of Prairie. They're snapping it directly to that running back. Kind of they're setting up in a little bit of a pistol formation. They snap it to that running back. Now they go to Hunter Williams, and he hands it off right up the middle, looking for room, and hammered down. And there's a flag down on the play as he's tackled right at the first down marker. And we'll see what the penalty call is. And the officials are talking. And you say it will be a first down. No indication of the penalty, so they're giving them. So they must have called that off then. Okay, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 46. For Prairie. Snap back. And that's Adam Longwell. He runs to the right side, and this time he gets tackled after a pickup of about 1. So they're lining up quarterback Hunter Williams back there. They line up the running back with him, and then they been snapping it to the running back. They send Tariq Amir here to the right side. Johnny Jones is wide left. Tariq Amir comes out wide right with Gabriel Bunkel. And direct snap to Longwell again. He plows right up the middle. It'll get a couple yards up to the 49. So that's been the rock of the defense for Waukee in there, but they're finding a way to punch through there right now. Caleb Paulus, Karsten Lappy, Connor Arndt, Cale Thorson, the defenders in there. We'll bring up 3rd down and 7 for Prairie at the 49. 5 minutes to play here, first half. They lead 7-3. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left, dropping back. Left-handed throw, lobs it out there over the head of Tariq Amir in the left flat. If he gets a better pass, he probably catches that and turns upfield and gets the first down, but he just threw it over his head. It was a good play call because they had everybody going deep with the spread out formation, and he kind of a little wheel route into the flat, but he threw it over his head, and so now it'll be punting time for Prairie. Joe Morrison back deep to receive the punt for the Warriors. He'll stand back at his own 16. Here's the snap. Runs to the right, kicks it high. Morrison calling for the fair catch and lets it bounce. And then it'll be down at the 24-yard line where Waukee will take over on their second possession here. After the defense rose up and held Prairie. And force them to punt. Here comes Mitch Randall. He sends trips to the right side, a single receiver to the left, and it's Xavier Moore in the backfield with him in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion, Sadat. He lines up right behind the line. They hand it off to Moore. Moore cuts a big hole. 30, 35, 40. Has a block outside Odell. Cross the 50, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! 75 yards. Xavier Moore. His 3rd touchdown of the season, his longest of the season. No flags down. 4:27 to play here, and the Warriors take their first lead. One play, and they strike. And credit Sam Odell. He is a receiver, and he hit that cornerback and just walled off enough room for Moore to get up that left side down the sideline. And once he got by that block, here's a high snap on the extra point. The kick is up and good, though. And that makes it 10-7 here. Waukee over Xavier. So the big play by the Warriors, one play, 75 yards. And let's take a break. We'll be back with the kickoff after this.
It's Truck Month at Schadenberg Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 19 Equinox up to 22% off. That's up to $9,000 off. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schadenberg Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back here at Waukee, Dar Danielson with you. On the audio call tonight of the 4A playoff, Waukee is taking their first lead here with 4:27 to play. They lead 10-7. Took the punt at the 25. One play, Xavier Moore takes it up the left side, gets a block from Sam Odell against the last man, and he sprints into the end zone, and it's 10-7 Waukee. And it's nice to have depth. Xavier Moore coming in. Alex Lindquist, of course, hurt his knee last week, and he is out for the rest of the season here. Guess he had surgery today. Hope everything goes well for him with that, the junior. But Moore scores, and here's the kickoff from Jaden. This time it's going to go deep. Taken at the 7 by Tariq Amir. Amir all the way up to the 27-yard line. And I'll mark it at the 26. And Morrison on the tackle. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 26 for Prairie. Well, this Waukee defense stepped up and stopped Prairie the last time. And the offense rewarded them with a quick touchdown. There's a handoff outside. Almost broke it free over the left side is Nick Pearson. And Pearson picks up 8. Up to the 34-yard line. 2nd and 2 for Prairie. Pearson, 1,654 yards in the regular season. There's a handoff to Amir, inside handoff as he comes back inside, and then he runs into traffic right about the line of scrimmage, and that's where, as far as he's going to get. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 for Cedar Rapids Prairie. And a couple defensive substitutions here for Waukee. Zach Gaines comes in, as does Garrett Schmidt. So 2nd and 2. And they snap it to the back. He gets hit, Pearson trying to swing free, but he can't, and they'll pull him down right at the line of scrimmage as they snapped it directly to Pearson, and Pearson gets dropped for no gain. It'll bring up 4th down and 2. And they're going to bring out the punt team. Braziak the kick, and Morrison back deep. Morrison back at his 29. Good high kick. Morrison immediately puts up the fair catch sign and pulls it in at the 26, I believe, is where they'll mark it. Yep, 1st and 10 at the 26. Well, they got it at the 25 last time. It took them just one play for the touchdown. Here they're back at the 26. We'll see what they do with it here. A 40-yard punt by Prairie. Mitch Randall back out with them. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Fakes it to Xavier Moore. Looks upfield, throws it deep. Has Odell and just overthrew him. Odell got turned around and turned back, and just a little too much. And I think he had to slow a bit as he turned around and looked back. A little more air under that, and it might have been able to drop it in there as he had yards on the defender there, but just a little bit of an overthrow, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. At the 26 for Waukee, they lead 10-7. Clock stopped, 2:17 to play. First quarter, Randall under center again. This time, keeps it himself up the middle, across the 35, 45, 50, spins around and is finally taken down at the 45 into Prairie territory, taken down by Lane Schwartzendruber. On the tackle, and they're going to mark him all the way down to the 44. So he did a lot of running on that first drive, and now doing it here. Brings up a 1st and 10 at the 44 for Waukee. Randall fakes it to Moore, keeps it this time, but stop, turns back the other way to his left, cuts it up, and makes something out of nothing at all, and gets it up for about a 4-yard pickup. He faked it to Xavier Moore, and when he looked up going right, there was a whole host of tacklers there from Prairie, but nobody can get their arms around him, and then he cut it back to the left and ended up getting 4 yards out of that when it looked like he was going to be stopped for maybe a 5-yard loss. So again, Mitch Randall showing the speed and elusiveness there, and he brings them up. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Xavier Moore in the backfield. Gives it to Moore. Moore looking to cut it outside. Now cuts inside the block of Huntley. Up to the 30, 25, 20, and pulled out of bounds on the far side at the 14. Good block out there by Hayden Huntley, the wide receiver. And a good read by Moore as he was trying to head outside, turn the corner, but he saw Huntley had his man sealed off, so he cut inside of him and then cut it back outside. And now it's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line for Waukee with 1:09 to play. Randall has 2 receivers wide to the left. Sadat in the slot on the left. And he keeps it himself right up the middle. 5, touchdown. Mitch Randall takes it in from 14 yards out. With 1:03 to play, Waukee up 16-7, pending the extra point here by Cade Jaden. As they line up, Jacob Holcomb, the holder for Cade Jaden. There's the snap. It's down. The kick is up. And it's good. Waukee 17, Cedar Rapids Prairie 7 here. We'll take a break, come back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Here at Waukee, the Warriors have scored again. This time they went 74 yards, and Mitch Randall runs it in from 14 yards out on a drive there. And they're up now 17-7. Prairie scored on their opening drive, went 61 yards, and it was field goal and 2 touchdowns for Waukee. And now Cade Jaden set to kick it off deep. And he does. Tariq Amir takes it back at the 3. 15, 20, 25, and dives ahead to the 29-yard line. He had a hole, but somebody just clipped him, and he lost his balance as he came through there. Otherwise, he might have had a little bit better return on that one. But Prairie will start out with the ball, 1st and 10 at the 29. And they've gone, had to punt the last 2 drives here after scoring on their first drive. And Waukee has turned each of those into a score. Hunter Williams in the backfield. Now they all stand up and look over to the left to the coach, who's signaling in the play. Pearson is back there with Williams. They get it straight to Pearson on the straight snap, but this time there's penetration by the Waukee defense. And there's a ball out. They're saying the ball is out now. And no, the officials say it'll stay with Prairie. Waukee, of course, is signaling it was theirs, and that's the way it always goes. The defense always signals that we've got it. But it'll stay with Prairie, and they shift out several linemen there. And now they're taking some time. Play clock down to 15. Hunter Williams. This time they snap it to Williams. He's looking for room, and he's immediately snowed under there. Skylar Paulson. Or excuse me, Cale Thorson in there on the tackle immediately, and that's the end of the first quarter. Waukee, 3 straight scores, a field goal and 2 touchdowns after the opening score by Prairie, and they lead 17-7. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on CISN.TV.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Back here at Waukee, Dar Danielson with you on CISN.TV. Audio only here tonight in the playoffs. Prairie will have a 3rd and 18 at the 21-yard line here. And rolling to the left, has some room there up across the 25 to the 30, and he'll get back a yard, half the yardage, and it'll be 4th and 9. It was 3rd and 18. He got 9 out of it. Looked like he was going to scramble for some more, but ends up getting 9 out of it, and they'll be forced to punt. Morrison will go back deep to receive. Also back there is Simon Lofsgaard. Here's the punt. Little pressure. He got the punt off. Morrison back to the 26. Looking for some room. Cuts it back to his right. Stiff arms a man. Cuts back inside. Up across the 35 all the way up to the 40. So Morrison made something out of nothing there. And gets a return of about 19 yards on that punt. Ankeny Hawks over Southeast Polk 7-0 after the end of the first quarter. We'll get you other scores when we can. Randall throws across, has a man. Sadat inside Cedar Rapids territory down to the 47-yard line. Waukee. Randall brings them up. Two receivers tight to each side. Fakes the handoff to Moore, and a little shovel pass there. And cuts it outside. Still looking for room. Back inside up to the 30. Rumbling down there is Aaron Smith. Just a little push pass out of the backfield. As they had those two receivers to each side, and they take the defenders kind of deep, and just a little shovel there to Morrison. Coming out of the slot, or Smith, excuse me, out of the slot. Well, it's 1st and 10 at the 30 for Waukee. They send Sadat, Huntley, and Smith wide to the right. Odell wide to the left, and there's a flag down before the snap. And illegal procedure on Waukee, their second penalty tonight. Only 2 penalties all night. Both of them on Waukee, so that moves it back. We'll make it 1st and 15 at the 35. Same formation. Fake the handoff, throws it out, has Odell. Odell stiff arms the defender, and he's ripped down, though. And then a flag comes down as he gets down to about the 17. And we'll see what that is. On the left side. Quick pass out to Odell, and he was stiff-arming the defender. The defender pulled him down by the shirt. And we'll see what the call is. Looks like Prairie's clapping. So, personal foul, face mask called on Waukee. You don't see that very often, the face mask against the offensive player. But he must, as he was stiff-arming, got and pulled the face mask of the defender there. So that moves it back, right back to the 35, and we'll do it again. 1st and 15 at the 35. As they threw the flag at the 20, and they move it back 15. So here we go. Xavier Moore back there with Mitch Randall. And Randall jump pass across to Sadat. He's inside the 30. Pickup of 6 yards down to the 29. Where it will be 2nd down and 9 for Waukee. They lead here 17-7, 9:22 and counting in the first half. Randall fakes the handoff, looking for Odell across the middle, got him! Pulled down at the 2-yard line. Odell on the post route came into the middle and got the defender on his back hip, and Randall put it right there, and the defender pulled him down at the 2-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal as Odell comes out of the game now. They bring in the heavy formation, where they bring in Caden Hoxmeyer in there as an extra back. And hand it off. Smith is in for the touchdown. Aaron Smith from 2 yards out. Aaron Smith with the 2-yard run with 8:50 to play here in the first half. A 4th straight score by Waukee. And awaiting the Cade Jaden extra point. here heading toward the south end zone. Here's the snap. The kick is up and kick. Oh, what do we got? Flag down. Okay. There's a flag down on the far side there. We'll see what the offside on the defense. It'll be declined. So they must have blew it dead before he got the kick off. The kick looked like it was good, but they're going to make him kick it again. Jacob Holcomb to hold. High snap, brings it down, kick is up and what? Offside again on the defense. Declined. And looks like he jumped off again. Okay, we'll try it again. Third time here. This time everybody's in, the kick is up, and the kick is through again, and this time the kick is good, finally. That'll make it 24-7. Waukee. We'll take a break and come back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back here at Waukee, Darn Danielson with you here on the audio call tonight. Waukee and Prairie Valley up 14-0 in the second quarter. Indianola just missed a field goal. And Waukee here has scored on 4 straight drives, and they're now up 24-7 after falling on the opening drive. Prairie took it down, and let's see, they went 61 yards and scored to go up 7-0. Waukee came down, got a field goal, and now 3 straight touchdowns, and Kate Jaden's ready to kick it off again, going north to south. This one is a short boot, taken at the 20. Looks for some room, cuts it up to about the 29. Was Brody Jones for Prairie. And here comes Prairie. They need to get a sustained drive here out of their offense. Williams comes out. They had success early snapping it right to the back. This time Williams goes in the shotgun, sends Amir in motion. Hands it off to Amir. Amir cuts it up the right side and spins up across the 35. Through traffic, a good first down run there. Picks up 6 for Prairie. It'll be 2nd and 4 for Prairie. This time they split Amir wide to the left. And Williams alone in the backfield. Sends a man in motion across the formation as Pearson. Williams takes it himself over the right side, and he looks like he has first down yardage up to the 40. Got tackler had him from behind but was pulling on the jersey, and he was able to lean ahead and get the first down. 1st and 10 at the 40 for Prairie. They desperately need to get something on the board here. Down now 17 to Waukee. Another busy night up here in the press box with the cold weather. A lot of people watching. There's Fake Williams, and this time he's met right in the hole. And we'll pick up a few, but not many yards there, as Ben Halber saw it and diagnosed it and didn't take the fake and came right into the hole, and he got just 1 yard on that. Well, now Williams has Pearson back there with him and Tariq Amir. Amir will go over and set up in the slot on the right side. Pearson set up on the left hip, or right hip rather, Williams. And they directly snap it to Pearson. Pearson slides through and all on his own, leans up ahead over the 45 to the 46. He got hit about 3 times and just kept leaning forward and was able to fall down. And that'll make it a 3rd and 4 at the 46-yard line, their own 46 for Prairie. 6:49 and counting here in the first half. Prairie trying to get another scoring drive together. And right off to Pearson, and he plows ahead across the 50, and he'll have the first down. As they go back to a little bit more motion in that backfield, misdirection there with Amir coming across, and then they hand off to Pearson, and that'll be a first down at the 49. Into Waukee territory comes Cedar Rapids Prairie. They wind the clock now. Prairie looking over to the sideline. Tariq Amir in this slot here on the left. And they give him the inside handoff. He'll spin in, turns his back in, and falls back, and he'll get a couple, but not many. Yards up the middle, not coming real easy here for Prairie. Brings up 2nd and 9. They'll give him, well, it's kind of a long one, a short 2 yards, you call it, I guess, but 2nd and 9. And now they head. Referee is calling over the linesman. Oh, they're going to put a different football in there. Looks like. I don't know if the one they're getting a little wet or not. It is got some rain out there earlier, but haven't had any rain during the game here. It's been clear and not real windy either. Here we go. Pearson back there with Hunter Williams. Now everybody shifts over to the right side. The slot from the left to the right. And they hand it straight up the middle and fake the motion coming back the other way, and Pearson is going to get, I'm going to give him a yard on that, so it'll bring up 3rd and long now for Waukee. We'll call it 3rd and about 7. So we come up on 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Snap back, Williams looking. No, he'll be pulled down as he was looking for somebody to throw to, and finally was taken down there by Dylan Bess. And Williams is slow to get up after being tackled. He waited and waited, but good coverage there. He couldn't find anybody open. And got sacked and lost about 3 yards. And thought maybe they might go for it on 4th down if they hadn't lost that yardage, but we'll see what they do now if they decide to kick it away. They're now on their own side of the 50. And they'll come out ready to kick it. Morrison drops back deep, but he'll put his feet on his 20 now. He moves up, scooches up a bit. And a good kick heading toward the left. It's going to bounce and roll down. Did he keep it in? Nope, touchback. Prairie player was down there and tried to slap it in, and he angled out by the pylon, and the official said he did not stop it in time. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20 for Waukee. They will take over. And the Prairie defense has to step up now, as Waukee has scored on 4 possessions. And Mitch Williams brings him out, or Mitch Randall, brings him out. And throws it out to Sadat. Sadat catches it 25 and moves up to about the 29-yard line. It'll be just a yard shy of the first down. He came in motion across the formation and just hit him right there in the flat on that pass from left to right. And now they get set up here. Xavier Moore in the backfield, 2 receivers right. He fakes it to Moore. Randall keeps it himself. Spins through, out of the tackle to the 40, 45, 50, down the sideline, 40, and is knocked out of bounds. One more step there and he was gone. But he's knocked out. But there's a flag down back here at the 47. And we'll see if there was a hold or a block in the back or something. They're bringing the ball back. So, flag at the 47. Still waiting the signal here. You see holding on Waukee. So I think even with the penalty, it'll be a 1st and 10 at the 37, and they'll just lose about 25 yards off of that as Randall was down the field farther. But 1st and 10 at their own 37 are the Warriors. Xavier Moore in the backfield with Randall. Across the formation, Odell. And there's a flag thrown before they get the snap off. Might have been too many people in motion there. Yep. And a motion play. So 4 penalties now in the ballgame, all of them on Waukee at this point. They'll send Sadat, Martinez, and Huntley to the left side with trips receivers. Sam Odell to the right for Mitch Randall in the backfield with Moore. Randall takes a step back and then goes up ahead. 40, 45, and spun around close to the first down. I think he'll be, well, let's see. Well, they're going to move the change. It'll be 1st and 10. And they say he got just enough. 1st and 10 at the 47 for Waukee. Coming up on 3 minutes to play in the first half. Same formation. Trips to the left. Odell, the single receiver, to the right. More in the backfield, and there's a jump by Prairie. As that time the Ashton DeGroot jumped off for Prairie. That time the hard count by Randall pulled him off, but that's the first penalty for Prairie. 5-yard offsides makes it 1st and 5 into the 48 of Prairie. Up the sideline for Odell, catches it at the 20, 10-5 touchdown. Sam Odell, 48-yarder. Sam Odell for Waukee with 2:44 to play. Puts them up 30-7 pending the extra point. And the last extra point, it took 3 tries before they finally got one off there where there wasn't a penalty. And this time, this one is up and good. That makes it 31-7. Waukee will take a break, come back with the kickoff after this.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Here at Waukee, 48-yard pass from Rando to Odell makes it 31-7 for Mitch Randall. That is his 14th touchdown pass. For Odell, his 9th touchdown reception on the season for those two seniors. And it puts Waukee up 31-7. Also, they hooked up the other way on that, too. Odell threw a touchdown pass to Randall in a game earlier this season on the flea flicker, as the kickoff is taken at the 17. Has a lane up to the 40, 45, cuts it back inside across the 50, down to the 49-yard line. A big return by Prairie. And he is down after the hit. Colton Forsland, I believe. He took it about the 27 and just kept plowing ahead, and then took a big hit at the 50 and leaned ahead. And he is still down there on the turf. They're looking at him. But a big play there for Prairie as they're in Waukee's end of the field here, and a chance for them to get on the board here before the end of the half. They are working with him now, and trying to get him up. So let's take a quick break. We'll do that and be back with more on CISN.TV.
It's Truck Month at Schadenkerk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 19 Equinox up to 22% off. That's up to $9,000 off. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schadenkerk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
So Colton Forsland, the junior, he's walking off under his own power now, a little shaken up here. But it'll be Cedar Rapids Prairie, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line after that kickoff return here with 2:36 to play in the first half. And they have not scored since the opening drive. Handoff to Amir. And he is met behind a line of scrimmage, Tariq Amir. And he's going to lose about 3 yards on that play. Amir has just about 1,200 yards coming in from scrimmage rushing. And then, of course, Pearson with 1,600. So ground-heavy attack for them. And in motion, Amir again, dropping back. Williams, they're looking to set up the screen, and they throw it out there, but diving for it and catching it on the ground is Longwell, as the We're going to say it went incomplete. So bring up 3rd and 14. Trying to hold off that pressure a little bit here, Waukee. They just were pouring through, and that time on the screen, but they couldn't get it completed over there to Longwell. So big 4th down play. They started at 1st and 10 at the 49. They're now back. That was on the Waukee side. They're now back at their own 47. Prairie is here, looking to keep this drive going here. And timeout called by Cedar Rapids Prairie. They want to talk this over here, so let's take a break. We'll do that. We'll come back here with more on CISN.TV.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd and 14 at the 47 for Prairie. They trail 31-7 here, 1:11 to play. First half, dropping back, lobs it out there for Amir. He catches it, makes a great catch, breaks one tackle, gets up and is knocked back. He'll be short of the first down, but that'll make it about a 4th and 3. And you got to think they're going to go for it here as the clock winds under a minute. And Amir made a great catch to bring that ball in. Looks like they're going to mark him back a little farther than what I thought, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4th and 5. They're going to take their time here. Williams with Amir right next to him. Play clock down to 7. He takes the snap, drops back, looks. Under pressure, he fumbles it, and Prairie falls on it. Either way, it was going to go back to Waukee. They will get it with 23.7 seconds to play. Take it over on downs, but Williams dropped back and immediately under pressure. Nowhere to go with that. So the Warriors will take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line, their own 45, with 23.7 seconds to play, and we know that they certainly can score in that amount of time. We saw them do that one play, 75 yards in the first quarter. There's a fake, screen out, pass, and got some room. Smith cuts it back into the middle. 20, there's a flag down. He's going to go to the end zone, but I've got a feeling this is coming back as a flag goes down. And then there's another flag. So 2 flags down. I'm assuming one of them is going to be, maybe both of them will be blocks or holding. So that run will come back. There's one down at the 28 and one down at the 9. So he wasn't going to score either way. Well, he scored, but it wasn't going to stand. But a nifty bit of running by Smith as he wound his way through the middle there. 11.2 seconds to play. But now the question is, where's the ball going to be placed? Block in the back. So they'll decline the one and take the other, which they'll take the one that's up at the 28 because that would move it back farther. And the officials trying to sort out that. So that brings it back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 45 again, this time with 11.2 seconds to play. And now you got to look at going a little deeper down the field, although they have timeouts left. Dropping back, up the middle, and he'll be taken down. Ball comes out, and looks like Waukee comes away with it. but they're blowing it dead with 1.7 to play. We'll see if the Warriors take a timeout or no, they're going to roll the clock, and that'll do it. That'll be the first half. But, yep, now they're saying, okay, first half is over. Everybody's going to head to the locker room here. Waukee up 31-7 over Cedar Rapids Prairie. Prairie scored first, but then Waukee has rolled off 5 straight scores here to take a 31-7 lead at the half. We'll take a break, come back with our halftime after this on CISN.TV.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need a new Heat and Glow gas fireplace insert. They're the perfect thing to make that old wood fireplace more beautiful, warmer, and easier to use. And right now, Heat and Glow is giving a $200 rebate, making it even easier for you to upgrade that old fireplace. Please come see them today. Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
We're here at halftime at Waukee, 31-7. Waukee up over Prairie in this first round of the Class 4A football playoffs. Joining us is the activities director at Waukee, Jim Dewey, and thanks for coming in out of the cold.
This is a night where I didn't mind the invitation. I was happy to come up.
Yeah, and been a busy fall. The couple seasons starting to wind down here, but it's been a good fall overall, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had a really good fall athletically, as well as you guys last week interviewed our marching band director,
right.
Also in the fine arts. We've had a great fall. We've as far as sports goes, boys golf, we were able to win another state championship a couple weeks back in weather very similar to this. So that was an impressive feat because the weather was just terrible. And our kids persevered over 2 days and won our 6th state championship since 2010. So we're proud of that. And every one of our other sports is right in the heat of postseason play now. Football, obviously, tonight.
And cross country
tomorrow.
Cross
country tomorrow.
Fort Dodge. That's going to be a little chilly.
That'll be a little chilly tomorrow morning.
We talked to the coach, I think it was last week at halftime about that too. And so, a lot happening here.
Yeah.
The football and this whole, seeding and the RPI and that, you like how that has all played out so far?
Well, I think there's different schools of thought on that. I think the RPI is okay, and they use that as a tool to set up their playoff field, but then they kind of go away from that conventional, I would call it the way they do it in the Final Four, where you go to a region and there's the 1 seed and the 16 seed play and the 2 and the 15 and the 3 and the 14, and they kind of get away from that a little bit. I know there's reasons why they do. Sometimes it's travel related, but if you looked at the matchups, you could almost say that they didn't do it that way as well. So it doesn't hurt us. I think the fact that we play a tough schedule early on helps us a little bit. Unfortunately, this year our district opponents, some of them didn't have as good a records as they probably would have hoped, and that hurt us in the RPI a little bit as well. So technically we are the lower seed tonight. Yeah. We're the home team because of the district championship. This is actually the 8-10 matchup. Right. Prairie being the 8 seed, us being the 10. So, it is what it is, and we just, I guess our attitude is we'll play who we need to play and where we need to play them, and so far things have gone pretty well tonight.
Yeah, and it looks like, Valley was leading there, so it could be another rematch with Valley.
Yeah, we obviously have another half to play. I like the fact that at least we have the ball coming out at half, because Cedar Rapids Prairie, they've had few things didn't go their way tonight, but they're a dangerous team. They've had an excellent season. Their 3 losses are to us, a ranked opponent, to number 2 Cedar Falls in a tightly contested game, and then they had number 4, number 5 Cedar Rapids Kennedy beat the week after they played us early in the season.
Yeah.
So they're a quality opponent.
They played,
this game's not over.
They played Cedar Falls pretty tough, up there in the Unidome
just
last week, and so
ended up being a couple score game, but they have so much explosive firepower with that a little bit of an unconventional offense that they run. I'm sure it's kind of at times it's difficult for you guys to even call it up here.
Well, I kind of figured out now that at first it caught me off guard when they had that direct snap to the halfback back there, but after you figure it out a little bit, it isn't so tough. Then you'll transition into wrestling and basketball and all those winter sports, right?
We're excited about the winter. We really are. We've got several returners in sports where we did have a lot of success last year. So we're hoping to continue and build on the successes of our fall sports. I didn't finish off what we have left in the fall. Our girls are in our volleyball girls play in the regional final Monday night at home, actually. So we're hoping that we can get a good crowd against Southeast Polk, who will be coming over for that game. And then our swimmers are in action tomorrow. We hosted regional diving last night, and now we go to Grinnell tomorrow, to Grinnell College University, to swim the regional meet, and then they'll be in the state competition next week. So a lot of things happening right now. It's an exciting time of year. I wish the weather was a little bit nicer tonight, but it's not. If you went down and asked the boys from both teams that are playing in the game if they thought the weather was bad, none of them would say it.
No, and when you're down there playing with all the pads on, it's not so bad. And I looked out at about noon and it was raining, and oh my gosh, that's not going to be great tonight. But thankfully that has stopped, and you look out there and the flags aren't really fluttering a whole lot, so we don't have the wind that we've had the last couple of weeks either.
Exactly. Yeah, my assistant. My new administrative, well, she's actually in her second year now, Kathy Gray. She texted me because I was worried about the weather, about the rain, Prairie being more of a predominantly running team, and us really needing to throw the ball around a little bit and spread the field to be successful offensively. And I was complaining to her about if it rains, it's not going to be good. If it rains, it's not going to be good. She texted me about 5:30. She said the sun just came out, and it did for a while. And it's been actually a pretty good night for football.
Well, I know we're talking about moving ahead in this year in these sports, but a lot of other stuff is going on within the district in that the new school, and they named the new mascot. That's the is it the Wolves?
Wolves. Yeah, it's a tough word for me to say for some reason. But
for the Northwest school, and then when will it come down to where, coaches start looking at that and people start looking at that new school and who's going to go where and do that?
Right.
When does that start happening?
We have a timeline that it's tentatively a timeline that will happen starting later on this school year. We kind of have a procedure in place, if you will. We've modeled a little bit of it after when Ankeny made the split and went to 2 high schools with Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Coaches will have some input as to where they go, but obviously, if you're a school, then the education piece of it is the number one priority. So we'll take a good look at their teaching assignments as well, and teaching assignment and coaching assignment will make a decision as to where it's best for that coach, both at the head coaching level and at all of our assistants as well. So we've already started that a little bit, because this year we have, in most of our sports, we have 2 freshman teams, or in several of our sports. And so we've already gone through that procedure with our freshman coaches, where they had input, survey input into, where do you teach, what would be your preference as to where you're going to coach, and that went well. That went smoothly, and so we're hoping now this next year we'll have multiple levels of sophomore athletics. Now we'll have 2 sophomore football teams next year, 2 sophomore basketball teams, etc. And so we'll go through that similar process, and then obviously the last step will be our varsity head coaches and assistant coaches as to where they're going to end up. It's neat. It's an exciting time for us, and but it's going to be. I don't want to say it's going to be overwhelming, but there's going to be a lot to do in the next year and a half.
Yeah, with that new. And I was, we talked with, I'm trying to think your alumni person who came back.
Mary Sheevy.
Mary, yeah.
I listened to that interview the next day, yeah.
And she had a good perspective on that and growing up from the school being small and growing to bigger. And she said, the students kind of adapt to that. And maybe it's us parents and adults that don't do quite as well because we kind of get set in our ways. But she said the students are, they kind of get used to things changing and splitting off. And so, she said she thought, they'd had it a little better maybe than some of the adults do and that. But it'll all work out, won't it?
Yeah, I think it will. And we're a district that continues to transition and grow. And as you mentioned, kids have already experienced that, whether it was at the elementary level, going from one school and having to go to another school because a new school opened up. And so the kids, they're used to it. They're used to the different transitions. And so I think I'm hoping that it'll go well here in a year and a half.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you taking the time. We appreciate you being a great host all throughout the season.
We really enjoy having you here.
The weather could have been a little better. You could have done a little better on that end of it. But, otherwise, we always enjoy doing games here. And hopefully the Warriors, they'll keep this in hand here in the second half, and we'll see what happens and then move on to the next round.
I hope so. This first drive of the second half is going to be really important. I think if we can go down and put another one in the end zone, that might, the Daubers might drop a little bit for Cedar Rapids Prairie if they come out and stop us and put a score on the board. You never know what's going to happen. So it's really important that we get off to a good start here in the second half, and hopefully we will.
All right, Jim. Thanks a lot. Jim Dewey, the Activities Director at Waukee. We'll take a break here. We're at halftime and be back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
It's Truck Month at Schoenberg Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 19 Equinox up to 22% off. That's up to $9,000 off. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schoenberg Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Here at Waukee, halftime 31-7 Waukee over Prairie. Started out here tonight, Prairie took the opening kickoff. They went from the 39, drove 61 yards down, and Nick Pearson ran it in from 6 yards out with 10:03 to go in the first quarter, and Prairie took the early lead here, 7-0 over Waukee. Then Waukee came right back, drove it down, but got stalled after a penalty and got a 36-yard Cade Jaden field goal, and that made it 7-3. Then Waukee forced a punt, took the punt at the 25-yard line. Xavier Moore took a handoff, took it up the left side, got a block from Sam Odell, and he was 75 yards gone into the end zone, and that made it 10-7. 2 more punts forced by Waukee, and each time they scored, Randall ran it in from 14 yards out. Mitch Randall with 1:03 to play in the first quarter. That ended up the first quarter scoring, making it 17-7 Waukee. Then into the second quarter, Waukee on another drive following a forced punt. It was a 2-yard run to cap it off with 8:50 to play in the second by Aaron Smith, and that made it 24-7. Then Waukee with 2:44 to play in the second quarter. Mitch Randall to Sam Odell, 48 yards for a touchdown on the pass. A nice pass to Odell, and he takes it in, and that makes it 31-7 here at the half. Both teams out warming up here tonight and getting ready to start the second half. Prairie, as you heard Jim Dewey, the activities director, say, Prairie won the toss and elected to take the ball to start it, so Waukee will get the ball to start the second half, and they have been hard to stop. And again, the footwork or running of Mitch Randall has helped here. He's rushed for 785 yards and now 15 TDs, as he got 1 on the ground here tonight, 1 in the air. So he's got 15 on the ground, 14 in the air so far on the season. Mitch Randall, the senior quarterback, and he's scrambled a lot, run a lot. Well, I won't say scrambled. There have been really, runs that were designed runs for him, and is able to keep things going here. Where his counterpart, Hunter Williams, not run a lot, but they've done a lot where they snap it straight back to the running back, Nick Pearson, and they run a little bit different formation where they put the running back there in the shotgun with the quarterback. Then they set up Tariq Amir, kind of slotted off on the end of the line to the right with the back, blocking back there with him, and then he kind of moves in and out. And sometimes they'll hand it off to him on the motion, or they'll snap it directly to Pearson and trying to get a little misdirection going. That worked early on, but then the Waukee defense made some good adjustments and able to shut them off and force several punts here in the first half. Last score we heard, Valley was leading Indianola. The winner of this one will play Valley next Friday in a matchup here in the second round. And then, of course, that matchup to go to the semifinals in Unidome. Looks like Dowling up 21-0 over Roosevelt at the half. Let's scroll through here, see if I can see any more scores. It was Valley 14, Indianola nothing at the half. So that one may be a little closer than what I kind of expected there. And early on, I thought Ankeny was leading. We'll check that, see if we can get you some more scores on that one. But we talked about it here. The winner of this one will meet Valley, the winner of that Valley matchup in the next round here coming up. And as you heard Jim talking a little bit about that, Waukee did beat Prairie in the first matchup, and the way the RPI went, though, they are a lower seed. They're a 10 seed, and Prairie is an 8 seed, but Waukee gets the home game by virtue of winning the district, so that all kind of plays out in the whole way they work it out here. But so the other games going on, Valley hosting Indianola, Centennial hosting Urbandale, and Cedar Rapids Kennedy hosting Fort Dodge. That's on the Waukee side of the bracket here. On the other side of the bracket, Cedar Falls hosting the Dubuque Senior Bettendorf at Linn-Mar. Dowling hosting Roosevelt. Dowling leading, as we said, Southeast Polk and Ankeny. I'll have to get a score on that one. Expected that one to be a pretty good matchup, Southeast Polk and Ankeny. But and he talked about it. Indianola, Waukee handled them 42-7. And another game similar to what they did to Prairie. They jumped all over it and got out to the lead and never looked back. But we're set up here ready to kick it off to start the second half. Waukee will go from south to north here as they tee it up and kick it down the middle, and it'll be taken over there at the 16 and up across the 25 to the 27. So Waukee will take over. 1st and 10 at the 27 to start the second half. We've had a couple big drives, 75 and, well, that was a one-play drive, 75 yards, Xavier Moore. Xavier Moore in the backfield, of course, for Alex Lindquist, who is out. Ankeny is up 17-6. Here's Randall, rolls, fakes a handoff, gets it to Sadat, and Sadat is tackled immediately out there. Good play by Lane Schwartzendruber. They were trying to get it out into the flat to Sadat, but Schwartzendruber read it and tackled him behind the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a loss of 4, 2nd and 14 at the 24. Randall looks over to the play to the right. He's got trips to the right. Single receiver to the left is Odell. Fakes the handoff to Moore. Hits Odell. Odell cuts it back inside to the 40. Up to the 44. Sam Odell. He's made a couple big plays tonight, one of them being that block on that run by Xavier Moore. He sealed off the final man there right at about the 50-yard line, and Moore was able to slip outside him along the sideline there, and then it was a foot race, and he just turned on the jets and was away, and now it's 1st and 10 at the 44. Randall throws across the middle. Sadat throws it a little high, and he can't come down with it, and it'll be incomplete. And not to make excuses, but I think the cold temperatures probably make it a little bit harder to grip that ball here tonight. And then we did have rain earlier, so a little wetness maybe on the turf as they've been trying to switch the balls out in and out here, looks like a little bit. So the clock stopped with 11 minutes to go. Bringing you the audio-only portion tonight here of this ball game in the first round of the playoffs on CISN.TV. And now they're bringing in, speaking of the footballs, they're bringing in a fresh one there from the sideline for this play. And Prairie jumps, but they stop. Randall looks to his left to the bench to get the play. He's got Xavier Moore off his right hip. Drops back, looks, throws it out to Odell down the sideline. Odell can't bring it in, and he's mad at himself. He bends over mad because that was going to be a big gainer up to down to about the 30-yard line, and well thrown ball. He just didn't quite bring it in. And one of those that he normally catches. Almost too easy for him. Maybe that was the issue sometimes. So two receivers right now. Odell wide to the left. In the slot. Slot comes across to Sadat. He goes up to block, and Randall takes it across the 50, 45, and he'll run out of bounds after getting the first down at the 44-yard line into Cedar Rapids Prairie territory. Waukee just wants to take it down the field, burn the clock down, and score here to open up the game, the second half, and they'll send now trips to the right for Randall. Odell, lone receiver to the left. Now he drops back. He's got Smith at the back. He takes a step back, looks to the sideline. Aaron Smith is the back. Drops. Now he's going out to Odell again. This time just a yard by his outstretched hands at the 15-yard line. And not much wind down there by the flags. But just trying to find that touch right now. And Odell has been getting by the defender down there. He has a step. Colton Forsland. If Randall can find a way to drop it in there. This time, Sadat in motion. He gives it off to Moore. Moore right up the gut to the 40. And he'll pick up about 5. Bring up a third. Now they're going to mark him right at the 40. So 3rd and 6 will be the call here for Waukee. Randall fakes it and now keeps it himself. Cuts it up across the 35 and runs out of bounds at the 28. A yard more than he needed for the first down. And Waukee will have it 1st and 10 at the 32 of Cedar Rapids. Everybody looking to their left now to get the play. Now Randall steps in. He's got Moore to his right. Send the slot in motion across the formation, and Randall keeps it. 25, 20, 15, cuts it back inside 10, 5, touchdown. Mitch Randall, 32 yards for the touchdown. With 9:59 to play in the 3rd quarter. Randall's 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. His 16th on the season. And now there's a flag down. We've got a hold. Did not see that, but now they're moving it back, so going to be a 1st down. They go from the spot of the foul, so it was downfield, so it'll be 1st and goal at the 20. Well, the 2nd touchdown that's been waved off by a penalty here. Randall fakes it, rolls to his right, looking to turn the corner. Now throws it, picked off at the 9-yard line by Brody Jones. So there was a big turn of events as touchdown called back, and then it's picked off by Cedar Rapids Prairie. They'll take over 1st and 10. At the 12. See if this can spark them here. And Pearson takes it up to the 14, a pickup of 2. Been tough sledding in there after that first drive where they took it right down the field. Pearson, a couple of big runs. And a little bit different action that we didn't see out of them the first time these two teams played, where they snapped it directly to the running back. That happens again here to Pearson. Pearson looking over the left side, dives ahead, and is pulled down right at the 20, so he'll be a couple yards short of the 1st down. Clock will keep running. 3rd and 2 at the 20. Snap back, rolling, looking to the right, and hit and pounded down. Cole Spikesma met Pearson and just stoned him in the hole there, and then they pushed him back. And he's going to lose a couple there, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So a big play by Spikesma. And Morrison and Lofsgaard back to receive. the punt, and the punt drops. It gets a good roll and across the 50 down to the 46, where Waukee will take over on their own 46 here. 1st and 10 for Waukee. So the penalty erased the touchdown, and then the first turnover of the night, the interception. But the Waukee defense holds, and the Warriors get the ball back here for their second possession of the second half. Randall hands it off to Smith. He's looking for room. Now slowly moving ahead, and he'll pick up about 4. Aaron Smith with the carry. One thing about Waukee, they lost Lindquist, but they have a lot of depth and good diversity in that backfield with Moore. Smith can come and run in that. He also plays out of that slot sometimes. And they send Sadat in motion across the formation to the right. And Randall keeps it up the middle. Across the 45, slips a tackle to the 40, cuts it outside to 35, and is pulled down at the 31-yard line. Mitch Randall. Good running, good stop and go there. Stopped and then kept going again. And picks up the first down. Picks up 20. 1st and 10 at the 31. For Mitch Randall. Hands off Smith. Smith looking for a place to go. Breaks out of the pile. 25-20 and is knocked out of bounds at the 16. Looked like they had him stuffed in the middle. He just broke out of that, spun off to his right, and then got all the way up for a first down. And those are the kind of plays that just kill a defense when you look like you got him stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and he pops out of there and takes off. And trips now to the left for Randall. Hands it off to Smith. Smith drives ahead for a couple over the right side, right down the right hash, and the clock is rolling. Randall looks over. They got Xavier Moore and Sam Odell wide to the left here. Single receiver wide to the right, and Smith in the backfield. Fakes a handoff to Smith. Randall spins around up the middle, breaks free, gets 3 yards after it looked like he was stopped. And that'll bring up 3rd and 7. So 3rd and long still here. It's Prairie trying to hold them out of the end zone. As they now look over again to the left side. Randall comes up. Smith with him in the backfield. Fakes it to Smith, looking to throw. Now runs to his left, scrambling to his left. Cuts it up, gets it blocked from Odell. And there's a flag down. They're going to call that a crackback, I think, on Odell. As he came back, and I don't know about that. He came back and was right in front of him. It wasn't like he came from behind. He just turned around and hit him from the side and knocked him down, but sometimes that's football, but they're going to call it a penalty. And that will move it back 15 yards. They're going to call it a personal foul on Odell. Looked like he just turned right back in front of him and knocked him over. It was a hard block, but he was well in front of him, and it wasn't from the side, but Either way, it's back now to the 23, 3rd and 16 at the 23. Randall drops back, looking, throws the screen across the middle. Odell up to the 15, and it'll be dropped at the 14. So they snuck Odell back in from the left side on that screen, and now looks like they're going to bring Cade Jaden out to try another field goal. And they set it up about the 21 to be a 31-yarder. He had a 36-yarder earlier. He's got a 44-yarder on the season, 5 of 8 on the season. There's the snap. The kick is no good, wide to the left. So the miss there, angled off to the left, and Prairie will take over 1st and 10 at the 20. So penalties have stalled the Waukee offense here in the second half so far. As a Randall run was called back, a touchdown run. And then that one would have put him 1st and goal. That was called back on the block. And here's Prairie. Fakes the handoff, throws it deep, and well covered there. The receiver out there, Johnny Jones. And Joe Morrison was right with him. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Prairie. They line up here. They're heading north to south on the field. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Straight back, lobs it out. Caught at the 30, up to the 34-yard line. And there's a flag on the far side. Tariq Amir caught it, but there's a flag down on the far side of the field. And it's a sideline warning, I think they called it, against Cedar Rapids. So there's no yardage with that, just a warning on the Prairie coaching staff. As we're seeing Prairie trying to go to the pass a little now. Here. Tariq Amir to the left. They got Burkle to the left and then one receiver to the right for Hunter Williams. And he hands it off going back the other way. Longwell breaks it free, 50, 45, 40. He went all the way across and found some running room, got to the outside, showed some speed. And he is pulled down at the, where are they going to mark him on the far side here? Looks like the 38 of Waukee. So this is the deepest penetration for Cedar Rapids since that opening scoring drive. Brings up 1st and 10 at the 38 of Waukee. Hunter Williams checks the armband for the play, sends 2 receivers to his right. He's got 1 to the left, single back there with him. And he hands it off and right up the middle and hammered down. Cole Spikesman came in on the tackle and drops Longwell. And 2nd and 9 at the 37. The third quarter been a little different here, a little slow offensively. Williams now set up, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Direct snap to Longwell. He rolls ahead over a tackler. He'll be short of the first down by about 4 yards, so picked up 5. So it'll be 3rd and 4. 2:42 to play here in the third quarter. No scoring so far in the third quarter but for the touchdown run that was called back. Now they split, two receivers left, one right, and send the slot in motion, or receiver left for the motion on that jet sweep, and wow, hammered down. Whoa. Coming in there, Ethan Wiersma laid a hit on Tariq Amir that just stopped him cold, and it's 4th and 4. It looked like he was getting up ahead of steam to come through there, and he just came through there and hammered him down. And a big play here for Prairie. They need 4 yards to keep the drive alive. You bring in Johnny Jones. They'll set up trips to the right side. And now timeout called as the play clock was running down. It took them a long time to get that straightened out. So they'll take a timeout. We'll take a break here. Come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Here at Waukee, Prairie takes a timeout. They have a 4th and 4 at the Waukee 32 with 1:45 to play here. They're trailing 31-7. So obviously they need any kind of points they can get on the board, and they need touchdowns right now, not field goals. They haven't really attempted 3 field goals on the season, 2 of 3, a 37-yarder, but right now you need touchdowns to stay alive and keep your season alive here. They come out, send a man in motion across the formation. Jones. Lob it out there, has a man, Jones, off the motion, and he's pulled down at the 21. So he lined up wide right, came across the formation, and then went straight up the field, and Williams hit him immediately. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line for Prairie. One of the things working in favor of Waukee, though, is they're taking a lot of time off the clock. Dropping straight back, Williams looking to throw. Now scrambles, and he'll be ripped down at the line of scrimmage. No gain. And good coverage back there by the secondary of Waukee. Morrison, Smith, Lofsgaard, Bess. They come up in that strange slot formation, and they direct snap it back to Pearson. Pearson gets a few yards. So they show you all that motion coming off the slot, but then they snap it directly to that tailback. And he takes it right up the middle. Clock rolling under a minute now, 3rd and 6 at the 17. They're taking a lot of time to get those plays in when they're behind here. Same formation to the right. They go up the middle, breaks through, touchdown. Pearson from 17 yards out. He scores his second touchdown with 19.9 to play here in the third. He scored with 10:03 to go in the first, and then it's been all Waukee since then. But they go 80 yards on that drive and are setting up to go for 2 here. Now they shift everybody over from the slots or the right to the left. They go trips to the right. Drop back, lobs it across, caught it for the 2-point conversion. And the 2-point conversion is good. That makes it 31-15. So that makes 2 scores and 2 more 2-point conversions by my math, and you're tied up. That pass was to Lane Schwartzendruber. He lined up on that inside kind of slot position and went up and made a good leaping catch in the back of the end zone to get the 2-point conversion. And we still have 19.9 to play here in the third quarter. And I don't know if it's, in my opinion, it might be too early for the onside kick with 19.9 to go in the third. You still have the fourth quarter. If you can kick it deep, get another defensive stop. Waukee in the third quarter hurt themselves on penalties. But let's see what they do here. He's going to kick it away deep. Taken back at the 10. 20, 25, up to about the 29. A good return by Morrison for Waukee. And we still have 13 and a half seconds to go here in this third quarter. So Ankeny up 17-6 in the third quarter. And now they switch sides. Here are the two receivers, Hundley and Odell. Send Smith in motion, giving the ball. He's heading to the left, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage for no gain. And that's the guy who caught the 2-point conversion, Lane Schwartzendruber. Stops him, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. So it's a 16-point game. And we'll go to the fourth quarter. Come back with the final period after this on CISN.TV.
It's Truck Month at Schadenkerk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 19 Equinox up to 22% off. That's up to $9,000 off. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schadenkerk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Here at Waukee, we'll go to the fourth quarter. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Waukee at the 28-yard line. Ankeny Centennial and Urbandale tied up at 21 all. Run outside, cuts it up, and is spun down. Xavier Moore at the 31-yard line, so it'll bring up 3rd down and long for Waukee. As Prairie scored the only points in the third quarter and has cut this to a 31-15 deficit. It was 42-7 in their first meeting in week 3 and a much different ballgame. Waukee came out and dominated that all the way through, and Prairie got a late score. Prairie scored the opening drive here and then has scored in this last drive. There's a fake by Randall. Randall spins ahead, but he's going to be short of the first down, brought down at the 35. So pulled down by Michael Bohr. And the Prairie defense forces a punt out of Waukee. So Prairie scored, went for the 2-point conversion, and made it a 31-15 ball game here. And Tariq Azir back deep to receive the punt. It bounces. It's going to roll around, and Morrison back there. They're going to let it roll down to the 24-yard line and down it. So that's where Prairie will start out. 11:05 to go in the ball game. They'll have a 1st and 10 here after holding Waukee, forcing the punt. They're going to mark it, I guess, at the 27. For Prairie. Carter Williams comes out. He's got Tariq Amir in that slot on the left, hands it off straight up the middle, plowing through that hole. So Centennial now up 28-21. As Pearson goes up the middle, picks up a few. Well, they can run a little bit to keep Waukee honest, but they're going to have to throw some eventually here, you think, unless they can bust a big play. But they haven't shown the ability to do that since, well, they did in the first half. There's Pearson trying to go outside. He turns the corner but is hit, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage and will lose a yard. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7 for Prairie. So this Waukee defense has been pretty good after that opening drive. I noticed they've been shuttling a lot of different players in here tonight, too. Keeping them fresh, keeping them changed up on defense. Winner advances to the quarterfinals. You win that, you get to play in the warmth of the Unidome in the semifinals for a chance to go to the championship. Drop back, Williams looking. Left-hander throws it short of the man. He was up in the first down area. There was Brody Jones. But threw it at his feet, and Prairie looks like they're going to have to punt here. Clock stopped with 9:46 to play. Morrison drops back to his 42. We'll see if they punt it away, try a fake here. What they decide to do. Well, he's going to punt it. Booms it up. Bounces at the 39 and was starting to take a bounce back, but Prairie got right there to down it at the 38. So that's where Waukee will take over now. And really for them, no hurry. They can take their time and bleed a little of this clock off here with the lead. Mitch Randall brings him out. Xavier Moore in the backfield with him. Trips to the left. And they hand it off straight up the middle, but there's a flag down. Before the play on the far side, and motion against Waukee. That's going to be one thing they're going to have to talk about. They've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 penalties tonight. 2 of them had touchdown runs called back. So things you don't really expect this late in the season to be happening. Brings up 1st and 15 at the 33. For Waukee. Sadat goes in motion across the formation. Randall keeps it himself. Sneaks in. Across the 45. 50. 40. 35. 30. 20. 10. Touchdown. Mitch Randall takes it to the house. 67 yards. inside, bounced around, cut it up the middle, and then there was nobody around him, and he just turned on the jets, and Mitch Randall gets the touchdown, 67 yards. And a big play again by the senior. His third rushing touchdown tonight, 17 on the season. And that's his longest of the season. The previous was 46. Snap, kick is good. And that makes it 38-15. Waukee. We'll take a break and come back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Back at Waukee, the big play by the quarterback, Mitch Randall. Takes it up the middle, busts free, and goes 67 yards for the touchdown, and that puts the Waukee lead back up to 38-15. Here's the kickoff. Taken. Back at the 25, and Amir up across the 30 to the 31. And that's where Prairie will take over. Could be the back-breaking play there as Mitch Randall looked like they had him kind of bottled up in the middle, but he broke free. And then when it's a sprint like that, there's few that are going to run him down, and he scored. And now here comes Prairie with trips to the right. Dropping back, throwing across the middle and over the outstretched hands there of Jones, Johnny Jones. And it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 37. And Prairie punted that away, hoping their defense could stop them. It was still a 2-score game. Well, 2 scores and 2 extra points. Now a little deeper in the hole. Direct snap goes over to Amir. Amir cuts outside, and he gets all the way up across the 45 to the 47 for a first down. First down yardage for Prairie. They'll be up to let's pick up of 10, 1st and 10. At the 47. So they're staying with it here. Winner advances to meet the winner of Valley and Indianola. Valley was leading that ball game. Trips to the left now. Williams wings it out there to Jones and a little low. And it's incomplete. Brody Jones. Williams, a lefty quarterback. Also, Jackson Daly, Southeast Polk. He's another one of those lefties, good lefty quarterback we've seen here this season. And dropping back. Williams under pressure. He's going to be snowed under back at the 40. as looking to pass, and the purple wave of Waukee was in there on him. And they'll mark it at the 30 or the 41. And Williams gets up slowly there as those big heavies, Connor Arndt in there on him, one of them, and Cale Thorson, Karsten Lappy, Caleb Paulus. They've been a pretty stout defensive wall for Waukee up there through the last 6 games. Dropping back, under pressure again, and he's going to go down. Thorson that time, right through, and just enveloped Williams and spun him down. He had no chance to even look downfield and throw the ball. And that'll bring up a 4th and 16 back at the 34 for Prairie, and they'll have to punt again. Morrison will drop back deep for Waukee. Snap, really no pressure by Waukee, and the beautiful punt drives him back to the 24. Morrison looking for some blocks, cuts it up, gets a block, stiff arm at the 40, 45, cuts it back at the 50, spins around and is pulled down. A face mask flag will come in on that. That'll be an extra 15 as he's pulled down at the 46. So Morrison took it from the 24 to the 46. A 30-yard return on the punt, and they'll tack 15 on for a face mask, I believe, on the tackle. Yep, personal foul, face mask is the call. So that'll move it down to the 31. And Waukee set up in great position here with 7:26 to play in this ball game. Well, Prairie got the offense going in the first quarter, first drive, 61 yards. And then in the third quarter, they drove it down 80 yards. But in between, they've had trouble. There's a fake going to the end zone. And over the head of Smith. He was double covered there, a good throw, but couldn't quite come up with it as he went up the left side. Good throw by Randall, but Smith was looking through 2 defenders there trying to come up with it, and it drops incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 31 for Waukee. Fans sticking around here on a cold night. Well, the ones that aren't up here in the press box are sent off to Xavier Moore. The ones that haven't snuck up here into the warmth of the press box are down in the Hardy Souls down there in the stands. And Moore picks up 4, and that'll keep the clock rolling, hitting 7 minutes to play in this ball game. He'll send Huntley to the left and bring Odell back to the right, and Sadat will go to the left. They haven't had a lot of passing, haven't needed a lot. They've got it when they needed it here tonight. They also send Smith out to the left. Fake the handoff. Quick hitter, Odell, and off his hands. The quick slant. And just a hard shot there, and that almost ricocheted off his hands up into the hands of Colin Rickardson, defensive back there, as Randall fired it in there on the slant. And see Randall, he's not wearing gloves as a quarterback. See him blowing on his fingers there a little bit, as it's got to be cold out there handling the ball. He sends trips to the left. Odell's a single receiver to the right, and Moore is in the backfield with him. Play clock running down, and Randall looks back and says, what do we do? They'll take a timeout to avoid the penalty here. 6:35 to play in the ball game. We'll take a break and come back after this.
Why do I look for the seal? it's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Back here at Waukee, we understand that Urbandale has scored against Centennial, and they're getting ready to go for two. It'd be 28-26, and Urbandale sounds like they're going to go for the win. We'll let you know if we get a final on that one and how it happened. I know they did get Harrison Whaley back. One of their good backs had been injured. And given Centennial all they can handle, Centennial came in as the number 4 seed at 8-1. Urbandale at 6-3 in the number 12 seed. Waukee here took a timeout, 4th and 6 at the 27 for Mitch Randall. He's got Aaron Smith in the backfield with him. Trips to the left. He hands it off. No, keeps it. Randall over the left side. Looking to get outside. Turns the corner at the 20 and gets knocked out of bounds at the 18. That'll be a first down as Randall runs all the way over across onto the purple track. And we'll come back over here, but he gets the first down, keeps the drive alive. And right now for Waukee, their only concern is just to keep that clock rolling and roll it down and roll it out of here. Prairie, a little more trouble for Waukee than they were in the first game. Urbandale up 29-28. They went for two and got it. Handoff up the middle. Xavier Moore on the carry. And Waukee will just take their time now getting the play in. 2nd and 5 at the 13. Play clock down to 9 as Mitch Randall brings him up. Gives it on. No, keeps it. Jump pass. Looking for Sadab, but it's knocked away. Good defensive play in there by Prairie. As he faked the handoff, and then Hunter Williams knocked that down. The quarterback playing defensive back there. But he faked that handoff and then did the jump pass to Sadad. He had to throw it a little low, and then Williams got a hand in there and knocked it away. So 3rd and 5 at the 13 for Waukee. 5:40 to play, clock stop off the incomplete. Here's a low snap. And Randall keeps it himself and runs right up the middle and gets snowed under and loses yardage. And Fourth and 6 at the 14. Waukee's just staying in there letting the clock run down. Valley's up 35-0. Rolling right, rolling. Randall throws, caught, and that'll be a first down. Odell catches it, tight ropes the sideline and goes out at the 3. And Waukee has a 1st and goal. — 17-14 was that Southeast Polk score. And spinning around out of there, touchdown. How did he get free on that run? Aaron Smith took it in from 3 yards out. And Waukee scores here with 4:36 to play to make it 44-15. Ty Langenberg hit Maxwell Ellen on the conversion to give Urbandale the 29-28 win with 16 seconds, or 29-28 lead with 16 seconds left. This one, the extra point kick is up, and good. Makes it 45-15 here. And we'll take a break, come back after this.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
It's Truck Month at Schonkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 19 Equinox up to 22% off. That's up to $9,000 off. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schonkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
The Warriors set to kick it off, leading 45-15. Valley has beaten Indianola 42-7, so Waukee would play Valley as there's a squib kick taken at the 29. Spun around up to the 39-yard line. And an upset brewing there. Urbandale was ahead of Centennial after going for 2 on the other side of this bracket. And it's over. Final Urbandale. Urbandale wins, so Urbandale advances. There's a run up the middle. Big upset for Urbandale over Centennial. Waukee went over to Valley Stadium and lost that game 38-10. That was their biggest loss. They lost to Dowling by 4. They lost to 3 to Southeast Polk, and then lost to Valley by 28. That was a game they were in the third quarter, drove down, got stopped for a field goal, and then the field goal was blocked. And then after that, Valley kind of lengthened things out there. And we said it before, it doesn't matter what the score is here. We see that tonight with Urbandale upsetting Centennial. As here's Prairie. Williams fakes the handoff, looking to go deep. Now throws it out there and almost picked off, but falls short. Chase Evans and Cole Spikesman diving for that ball, but couldn't get to it, and the clock stops with 3:30 to play. So the winner, which looks to be Waukee, will play at Valley Stadium next Friday. Here's the snap to the back, and he gets across the 50. He'll be short of the first down, though. And I got a feeling Prairie will go for it here as the clock keeps rolling. Again, Prairie they didn't score till late in that first ball game. They lost. It was like 42-7 to Waukee. They scored the opening drive here, and then Waukee reeled off 5 straight scores before Prairie scored again. And then they've challenged a little bit here late, but not able to get it across. Now dropping back is Williams. Looking, throws it out there. Hits Tariq Amir, but they sniffed that out. They were trying to go a little bit of a screen over there, and Waukee's right on that and shuts him down, and they'll take over on downs. Here at the 49, their own 49-yard line. And I'm sure they'll probably hand it off a few times to run the clock out and be glad to move on to the quarterfinals. And snapping the handoff. We got a new quarterback in there for Waukee. In there is Jacob Holcomb, the backup QB, now in to finish out the ball game here for Waukee as they pick up a yard to the 50. And hand off, looking for room. Cuts a 340, 35, 30, 25. Ibis, the senior, takes the handoff and rumbles down to the 25. Ibis has been in there on a little mop-up duty the last few weeks as they've been big wins for Waukee, and now he gets it down to the 24. Ibis in there, and now I think they're going to go to the kneel-down victory formation here and not try to rub this in as they bring they have one running back 10 yards behind everything, and Holcomb takes a knee to get the clock running. He'll have to do that probably 2 more times here. But Waukee will advance to play Valley here in the quarterfinal round. Credit Cedar Rapids. They played hard here, had that first opening drive, and then the Waukee defense stepped up, and then they scored in the third quarter, went for 2, and they had it cut down to a 16-point lead, but then Mitch Randall broke free on a 67-yard run and kind of broke the back. And there's the final kneel down here for Waukee. And that is going to do it here as the clock will run down. The team's now going out to center field as the clock hits 10 seconds and counts down, and a lot of happy Waukee fans here. Ankeny is up 24-14 with 1:43 to go over Southeast Polk. On the other side of the bracket, Bettendorf won tonight over Linn-Mar on that other side of the bracket. Dowling was leading Roosevelt there. So the winner of this side of the bracket, which could be Waukee, could be Valley, who knows, would end up maybe facing Dowling if they get through that bracket on the other side. Of course, everybody out there probably thinking it might be Valley Dowling, but you can't take anything for granted at this point. Kennedy beat Fort Dodge tonight, looks like. So Cedar Rapids Kennedy in the other bracket, they will face Urbandale. And let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll wrap up this ball game here tonight. 45-15 Waukee over Prairie on CIS.
It's Truck Month at Schonkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 19 Equinox up to 22% off. That's up to $9,000 off. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schonkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
At Waukee, here are the final tonight, 45-15. Waukee wins their first round and will advance to face West Des Moines Valley in a rematch of that earlier meeting. Let's take a look at the scoring. Cedar Rapids got the ball on the 39 after a short kickoff, took it 61 yards, and Nick Pearson scored from 6 yards out. They made the extra point. It was 7-0. Waukee came down, and a little bit of foreshadowing of what would be their main issue tonight. They had a penalty, end up settling for a field goal, 36-yard K. Jaden field goal. It was 7-3. Then the defense forced a punt, got the punt at the 25-yard line, handoff to Xavier Moore, one play, 75 yards. He got a block on the outside from Sam Adell, took it in, and it was 10-7 Waukee. Warriors forced another punt, drove it down. Mitch Randall then ran it in from 14 yards out, made it 17-7. Waukee got the ball back in the second quarter, 8:50 to play. Aaron Smith, a 2-yard touchdown run. The PAT was good. It was 24-7. In the second quarter, 2:44 to go. It was a Randall pass to Odell, 48 yards, extra point good, made it 31-7. Cedar Rapids Prairie getting their trophy for participating in the playoffs out there. Then in the third quarter, Randall scored from 32 yards out, but that was called back on a penalty. And Cedar Rapids Prairie then came down one on a drive and scored with 19.9 to play on a run by Pearson from 17 yards out. They had the 2-point conversion. That made it 31-15. And it looked like they might be back in business. They got another drive, but couldn't do anything. And then finally, Waukee got the ball back, and Mitch Randall broke free with 9:25 to play. 67-yard touchdown run. The PAT was good. That made it 38-15. Then Aaron Smith capped it off with a 3-yard run, made it 45-15. So Mitch Randall, if you're giving out MVPs, he probably would be the one tonight who did it with his legs several times here. As Waukee sprinting off the field, Cedar Rapids Prairie out at center field kneeling. They have a good season, 6-4. They'll end up in a playoff bid here. And give a little bit better showing here against Waukee in the second game here tonight. So the final tonight, 45-15, Waukee over Prairie here on CISN.TV.